Let's get the stream running. It appears to be. There we go. Get everything set up so I can handle my blue sky that is going to be eternally notifying me of things today. Fresh that's birds. Oh. Too many people messaging me today. Here we go. Onward, more devil flags. Continued scouring the ocean. Oh, 3,500. Okay, you're my big target today. When you're actually a threat, you're, okay, I should put the fire out, that's important. Hey, hi Valentine, how are you? Okay, let's, reassess where the big one is. The big one's over there. New pink lasers on. Oh, sorry to hear you're not doing great today. Hey, Tara. Right. U-turn. Get big lasers on.
Let's do this.
Around. I think one more pass should do it. Ah, new medication effects are never fun. Bodies just love to have new chemicals in them they have to adjust to. Okay, 40 strong pirate crew. Oh. Right. I need my specials. Powered up, but not gonna be too bad. As long as I can avoid getting cornered, I'll be alright. Boost attack and defense. Okay, we can live with that. Now we boost our attack and defense. Nope, not defense. Our attack and healing. Around. My day today, oh yeah, Tara says, I love Sleepy Sheep Guy. Question, did he appear in any Quest in Infinite Wealth in this game? Not in this game. He was bought as a reward from one of the minigames. I don't think he appeared in Infinite Wealth's minigames. I think he was just in Like a Dragon's Sleepy Cinema one. Like, I think he was an NPC who could show up on your Animal Crossing island in Infinite Wealth, but I don't think he directly showed up as, like, a front and center character. I am a big fan of Mysterious Sleepy Sheep. Okay. I'm not doing any of the story stuff at the second for the Devil Flag Pirates, I'm just sailing the general ocean, trying to clear out all of the generic Devil Flag locations. And I've saved any of the conversations with party members for honestly, yeah, they need him to do more with Sleepy Sheep Businessman. Wonderful character. Make him a recurring character. Give him his own serious, very dramatic plot line. I'm getting better at micromanaging these lasers now. Here we go, here we go.
This thing's ready for a
Hunting down the store brand devil flags. Yeah, it's kind of so that I can just do the story portion of the devil flags like back to back. I just want to be a little completionist out in the ocean for a bit first.
This thing's ready for a big one.
I need to remember that like physically ramming into another pirate ship is a very viable way to do damage, even when I'm mid-repair so that I can't fire my weapons. Just directly ramming a pirate ship is pretty good damage dealing.
You were really cool, Captain.
There we go. Today, my blue sky notifications are all over the place, so I'm going to be occasionally darting my eyes over to this other monitor because I had an experience today. As you know, I don't really talk about Ubisoft games, generally speaking. Like, once a year there'll be a Ubisoft game with accessibility that sort of forces me to go, I gotta talk about this one. And they've done it again. That we have this year's one Ubisoft game I'm going to talk about is Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Lighthouse sighted.
Because for about 4.5 years, I've been trying to convince the games industry that a cool thing to do that would be really helpful for autistic players is the ability to turn on tone tags. Just have a standalone subtitle that you can turn on where it's like, hey, what emotion is this line being said with if I'm not good at telling emotion in the way that someone is saying some words? And Assassin's Creed Shadow has that. It has just a subtitle track you can turn on that just turns on tone indicators as its own subtitle track. And that's pretty fucking cool. As I say, it's 4.5 years ago was the first time I made a video talking about like wanting this to be a feature. Literally 2 weeks ago, I made a video saying that this should be a feature that some AAA studio should finally try. And it's finally happening. And therefore, I got a little overexcited. I got a little excited going, oh my god, someone fucking did it. And that blue sky thread is...
Where are we headed now?
Since I last looked at that monitor, I have another 26 notifications. It's, apparently a lot of people are excited by my having shared the thing. Why is Ubisoft the company that does the accessibility? I mean, basically for the last, like, 4 or 5 years, they've been... I would say easily in the top 3 companies doing accessibility, right? Like, they really committed to it early on and have done a good job of disseminating information across their studios. Look, yeah, as you say, look, sometimes I cannot deny Ubisoft does real good important stuff. Alright, let's clear out this side of the island. Only they're better in other ways. Yeah, if it had been out today, I was really tempted to do all one stream of Assassin's Creed because I really want to check this fucking feature out. It's out tomorrow. I got sent some screenshots of what this setting looks like, and I'm like, god damn, I'm gonna have to be Ubisoft's. I'm gonna have to be a big supporter of Ubisoft games for a week because. Damn, someone made exactly the one feature I keep asking the industry to make. They sure as hell did it. Okay, yeah, going back to, I think, the Sleepy Sheep Businessman. Have a side quest where people get hallucinations of the Sleepy Sheep Businessman. They go back and forth whether he's a real entity or just a hallucination. You know what you've done there, Terra? You've just written a very solid Yakuza side quest. There is literally no reason that they could not put that into literally any Yakuza game that it would fit. Well done, you've written... I need to know now, Terra, what would your answer to that be? In your version of that side quest, is the sheep businessman real? Or do we leave it deliberately vague?
No way, a water spout!
So it is.
Shit's dangerous, though. Let's go around.
Let's
Be
go.
careful not to get sucked in, Captain.
Rain, huh?
There's a lighthouse over there.
Hell of a breeze. Puts the wind in your sails, so to speak. Just be careful your hat don't blow away. That thing gets lost at sea, it's staying there.
Yeah, you're right about that. Definitely can't afford to be losing it.
What you mean? More expensive than it looks?
That ain't worth a thing in terms of money. Moana gave it to me for my birthday once. Noah wasn't even born yet.
Huh. That's something, all right.
Guys at the bar once said it was an eyesore. Oh, I was flipping tables over this damn cap.
I'm sure that's what she wanted when she gave it to you.
Well, Captain, how do you think the hat looks on me?
Really? You seriously?
It looks
gonna
like
ask me
literally
after all
any
that?
time a man has ever worn a baseball cap.
That looks damn fine on you.
Yep. Figured
Unless you're
you'd
Ash
say
Ketchum,
so.
I've never internalized the
It
fact
ain't
a
a
man
lie.
is wearing a baseball
If you
cap.
ever took it off, I'd have trouble picking you out of a lineup.
What's that supposed to mean?
Hey, when something's got significance to you, you're the only one who needs to like it. Who gives a shit what others think? Wear it with your head held high.
All right, sure. By the way, Captain, just noticed how sharp you're dressed.
Shameless old bastard, you.
Reminds me of old times.
Say, Captain, been thinking, why don't we grab a drink sometime?
Oh,
Ooh, we've unlocked
the
Jason's
water
drink
so
link.
pretty.
Sorry, I got distracted there. You know, we were literally just talking about that Assassin's Creed non-verbal, like tone tags on subtitles feature. Literally just got
we
a,
don't run into
literally
the
just got a DM from somebody at Ubisoft. Yeah, I
it's so
I have no idea if my shouting about this feature for years in any way impacted anything, but I'm very glad to know that feature I shouted about is a thing. At the very least, if no one heard my shouting, someone had the same thought and got someone to listen to it. The hell yeah.
Nice tops will breathe.
2025 is already off to a damn good year for accessibility in my book. In terms of literally the thing I have spent the most time trying to push for to happen.
Are they coming after us?
It happened.
We can do this, Captain.
Does mean I've got a busy work week ahead of me now, because I was like, oh, I know what next week's AA is going to be. That's easy. It's going to be the Xbox adaptive joystick sort of nunchuck looking thing. Those are showing up tomorrow. Now it's like, oh, I guess I need to try and find time to make 2 AA episodes this week. I gotta talk about Assassin's Creed and Xbox joysticks. East Demon, I did see that in Split Fiction, a secret level was found, confirmed by Hazelight, and offered a reward for its first clear. I also saw that someone did clear it for the first time, and that the pair of people who cleared it won a trip to Hazelight Studios to get a sneak peek at their next game that's already in development. I miss the days of, I put a weird secret in my game, someone did the hard level, you won a thing. But, like, not in a stupid Peter Molyneux, no one's actually going to get the prize kind of way, you know.
Really cool, Captain.
I know something about that secret level. You had to, like, put in a code of some kind into an elevator somewhere to get access to a level. I don't exactly know how it worked.
Captain,
Oh, there we go. Aw. Yeah, I've sent a little thank you along to someone at Ubisoft I know about the tone tags feature, Assassin's Creed, and gone, whoever it was there that did it, thank you. Here is a video literally 2 weeks ago where I explained why this feature would be so important to me and why I really hoped it would happen. So there's a sort of preemptive thank you, Ubisoft. You somehow did the thing that 2 weeks ago I was begging people to do. What did Assassin's Creed Shadows do to be worth the extra video? They have a separate option in subtitles where you can turn on tone tags in subtitles. So if a line of dialogue is being said enthusiastically, sarcastically, shamefully, bashfully, that the game will just tell you that as a separate toggleable subtitle file. Much the way that, like, you know, certain games have, like, speaker name tags or things like that. Or the example I've been pointing to for a while is the way that Hellblade 2, Senua's Saga, had the hallucination audio of, like, the whispered voices she's hearing in her head as a separate subtitle track with, like, positional locations, which is really cool. In we go. Let's fight this devil flag. Okay, 5,000. 5,000's a pretty sturdy ship, but we can take that down. Okay, we're gonna do a speedy U-turn. U-turn so we can get the pink laser on. U-turn into green. Port side. This year has been crazy for games since it's only just started. It's been wild. And Nubby got a graphics update. Oh, I forgot to update the game from Nubby. You're right. I need to change it back. I've just been streaming so much Pirate Yakuza recently, I forgot to check what game I was set on. Give me 2 seconds to defeat this pirate ship. Tricky ship. There we go. Now I've got to quickly click up my other monitor up here. Okay, like a dragon. Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. There we go. Also, 2 weeks until the Switch 2 reveal direct. There we go. Updated. Yeah, we are like 2 weeks away from Switch 2 stuff. Active Criticism says, I spent too much time this week thinking about Laura's idea that Majima's princess is Kiryu. Is the Dragon of Dojima really so innocent that he might eat a poison apple on mistake? I think he might. You know, he would be on the lookout for someone trying to, like, actively do a murder, but, you know. Okay, maybe... Look. It doesn't make sense narratively. Ichiban is more the would eat a poison apple by mistake vibe. I don't know if Kiryu would actually eat a poison apple by mistake, but I think Majima would like to think that about Kiryu. Be like, oh no, I'm gonna protect you! It's like, no, you don't have to protect Kiryu. Look, we'll talk about my Kiryu as Majima's princess theory closer to the end of the game, when I have more material to work with in terms of where we might go with that. But Kiryu isn't dumb as bricks, but I don't think you've got to be dumb as bricks to eat a poison apple by mistake. A well-disguised poison apple could be, you know, hard to recognize, you see. Oh god, we're down to 6 people. come on, come on. Let me get my rage move in. There we go, there we go. I did not expect Onomichio, the fruit head-based mascot man, to be my final remaining combat companion. I guess his head's got lots of padding from the big fake fruit on it. There we go, there we go. We got through, we got through.
Lousy dance partners.
This is
Oh, that's looking great.
Captain!
Okay, we are over 100 devil flags ahead of where we need to be for plot progress right now. That's fine. Ooh, can we afford to get some more Majima upgrades now? We got good. Okay, we got good points again. Okay, we can. Once again, it's the points that are my limitation. Can I afford any of the cheaper ones? We're getting there. We're getting there. Okay, so now I'm trying to head to this one.
I don't like the look of that shit.
You're nothing, ships. What are you gonna do? Nothing. You ain't got shit on me. Oh, poison! Poison on my ship.
Thanks, Captain.
No, I was trying to spray the poison off. Oh god, who else is down? Too many people are down. Screw it. We're just going. We're getting going again.
Yes, sir.
We're a couple of people down, but I think we can just do this. Hey, our Odyssey! How are you doing?
You were really cool, Captain.
There we go, we're back on track. What I'm going to do is I'm going to clear this area now. I'm going to go back and get one of the conversations I skipped earlier. I'll go do the drink links with the crew. And then probably time to actually continue the being a pirate devil flags quest. Oh, how I love these big lasers. I'm doing pretty good today. My work week suddenly looks a lot busier than it did this morning, but it's never a bad day to be like, oh no, I'm busy because there's more accessibility to talk about this week than I had anticipated. Oh no, the industry was more accessible than I had planned for. Whatever will I do? Oh, I've got to get back on track for these boosts. Of course. Yeah, I'm excited for tomorrow. I should be receiving my pair of the Xbox adaptive joysticks, which for anyone who hasn't seen them, they're basically a Wii nunchuck, but with face buttons on them. So like a nunchuck with a D-pad or a nunchuck with a ABXY essentially. so that having a pair of Wii nunchucks, you have enough inputs to be all of your Xbox controls, which I am excited for, because a way to have split-handed controls easily on Xbox. To have my hands not have to be near each other
Old times.
while still doing my Xbox controls, which I'm really excited to try out. My plan for tomorrow is I'm hopping on my lovely wife Jane is doing a Sea of Thieves stream tomorrow night, which I'll probably be hopping on to. And that's going to be my first big test session for playing around with the new controllers.
Huh? Without a merchant?
Alright, yeah. It's this one left. I'm gonna avoid this little bit of combat. I'm gonna take the direct route this way.
Feel that sea breeze.
Steady as she goes.
Look, it's raining.
Oh, I'm keeping an eye out now as we are getting dramatically closer to that Switch 2 reveal direct, and I feel like the usual suspects of people that tend to share information about directs a little early, like your Pyoros and whatnot. I'm wondering how close we are to the deluge of starting to see so-and-so rumored for the Switch 2 Direct type posts doing their rounds. Honestly, I'm surprised that we're this close to the Switch 2 Direct and we've not yet started to see the obligatory 4chan, nothing to substantiate them, fake leaked. Oh, my granddad works at Nintendo. Here is a document in English with confidential written all over it that says we're getting, I don't know,
Check it out.
F-Zero Infinity. Like, I'm honestly almost disappointed that the internet has not yet gotten quite so desperate as to be doing their very clearly fake, no one would believe them, fake direct leaks yet. Okay, let's wait for everyone to hop down. Once everyone's down, we can, play my haunted violin. Oh, other exciting thing I saw today that I've not seen enough people talking about yet is an attempt at the video game industry's first, not specific to one developer or studio or publisher, industry-wide union for workers in the video game industry, which is a pretty damn ambitious thing to go for. I'm glad we are seeing some attempts at more ambitious unionization. Tara, people have been... There's been leaks and rumors about a new 3D Donkey Kong game for about 2 years at this point. For the longest time, the rumor was that Rare had been... Retro. Retro Studios had been working on a 3D Donkey Kong 3D platformer, and that potentially they got pulled off of it when Metroid Prime 4 had to restart development. And got handed back to Retro after its first disastrous development with Namco Bandai, and that's why it hasn't surfaced. Everyone keeps finding patterns they think are Switch 2. A lot of them, I think it is pretty clear are Switch 2 related. Here's the one I will say that tells you if a thing is Switch 2 related. If you see a Nintendo pattern right now that has like a product code that starts with BEE, and then a dash and a bunch of other things, it's for the Switch 2. And the reason we know this is, if you look at your Switch Joy-Cons, they have, what is the one on Switch? I forget what it is. I think it's HAC, Hotel Alpha Charlie, is the start of it. That is just the one that is on all the Switch stuff. There are leaked photos of the Switch 2 dock that show that BEE is the start of the code designation for Switch 2, and it is showing up in some patents in a way where people are like, okay, that is a Switch 2 thing. it's interesting. It's led to people working out certain things, such as it seems like we're getting a Switch 2 specific GameCube controller, which people worked out for the weirdest of fucking reasons. Was they had a patent for something, and it showed where on the controller the label info would go, and people overlaid it with a GameCube controller. It's like, oh, this is where you put it on the back of the GameCube controller, on the back of one of those weird circles. And it had a BEE product designation, which is like, oh, okay, this is a wireless controller, the label goes where a GameCube controller label goes, and it's a BEE product code. That is a GameCube controller for Switch 2. That's fair. Like, I'm just fascinated by, like, some of the process of this. I'm very curious about. I'm very fascinated by the kind of people who've been following a lot of this. One of the things that's most interesting to follow is, for about a year, people have been tracking publicly visible shipping data, and have worked out, like, have been tracking Switch 2 parts around the world in a way that's really interesting. They recently worked out there are about 300,000 finished boxed retail Switch 2s somewhere in the United States right now. That comes from, okay, well, we know it's using this component that was shipped from NVIDIA to Nintendo in this quantity, and, like, you know, an order of, like, 380,000 of this and this and this and this. Those are presumably things that need to go together. They all get shipped to here. They get assembled. Now 380,000 of just one thing is being shipped. Okay, well, that's presumably the assembled thing. That I find, like, just genuinely fascinating from a, oh, I did not know that much information was trackable publicly. I didn't know that, like, so many companies, a lot of their tracking stuff just has to be partially public for various legal reasons, and that there is sort of people working out a puzzle based on that. I just think is deeply curious. Ooh, powerful foe. Yeah, it's the kind of people who do supply chain for work who are like, oh, I know what to recognize from this stuff. But yeah, the fact that, like, it seems from shipping stuff like finished units are starting to be stockpiled in countries that are not the country they're being assembled in. It might suggest that we are closer to launch than people were maybe expecting. But also, it might just be to do with Trump's tariffs and trying to get as many assembled units over to the US before tariffs kick in as possible, to minimize the amount that tariffs are going to set them back. Yeah, I think I think there is a very good chance, because I think it is significant that the US is the first place that we're seeing shipping reports of, like, lots of stockpiling. It would make sense if they're trying to beat the tariffs. Get your initial shipments over to the US, as many as you can before tariffs kick in, and then worry about sending them to other places. Although they're region specific, so probably, yeah. Our Odyssey says, does Nintendo have any news embargoes for Switch 2 game publishers, or can they announce anytime? So, it's a weird situation. There are definitely developers who have said they're developing for Switch 2, but they're largely smaller developers who you would imagine might just be saying, when dev kits are more widely available, I will put a port on Switch 2, and just sort of speculatively saying it. What we're seeing with, like, most of the bigger developers is they're winking and nudging at the fact they're going to be on Switch 2, but not outright saying it. You see this in the case of, like, Yooka-Replayly. the walk-back statement the other week from Power Wash Simulator 2's developers. Eats Demon says they aren't allowed before Nintendo's full reveal. I'm not sure if it's that, or if it's if you are a game that has made a deal with Nintendo to be in that direct next month, in like 2 weeks, if you're in that direct, you can't talk about your game being on Switch 2 before the direct airs. Which I would imagine is most of the big AAA publishers, who are most of the people who've been given dev kits, early on, and the kind of big indies who probably will get a spotlight in a console reveal direct. Like, Yooka Playly and Power Wash Sim 2 being part of a bigger indie sizzle reel during that direct feels really obvious to me. So, like, my suspicion is, no, not strictly an NDA or embargo on talking about it, but that most of the people who have dev kits right now are also the people Nintendo is courting to be in their big, look how many games we have, reveal direct, and if they're in that direct, they can't talk about their games yet. Like, I think that's the more complex part of it. Because, like, there's some stuff we know is coming to Switch 2, because of things like, we know Call of Duty is going to be coming to Switch 2 because, Activision Blizzard was forced to agree to bring Call of Duty to Nintendo platforms, as a result of the Microsoft acquisition, and to not be seen as a, a monopoly. They had to agree to put Call of Duty on Nintendo platforms, and they sort of agreed to that already. There's other stuff like that where it's like, occasionally we know some stuff officially. So, like, clearly it's not a 100% total ban on saying things, but also Nintendo would really rather as many of these devs announce it at the big Nintendo thing as possible. And I imagine if you're on good enough terms with Nintendo to get a dev kit early enough that you've got, like, a build running ready for, like, near launch, if Nintendo politely asks you to wait on announcing it, you probably do that. But yeah, who was it? I'm sure we have seen games announce themselves for Switch 2. Switch. What games have announced themselves officially for Switch 2? Polygon's got a convenient list. Beastario, a turn-based role-playing game. Its Kickstarter page says it's coming to the Switch successor. They don't say the word Switch 2, but they say the Switch successor. First Quadrant Phoenix, a Star Fox-style game, has announced itself for Switch 2 in 2025. My Time at Evershine, which is from the My Time at Porsche, My Time at whatever the other one was series, they announced coming to next-gen Nintendo on their Kickstarter. Again, this was before the Switch 2 name was announced. Synth Beasts specifically says on their Kickstarter they're coming to Switch 2. Yooka Playly says they're coming to Nintendo, without saying Switch. Those are the ones that have officially said they're coming to the next-gen Nintendo platform or the Switch 2. So as you can see, it's largely either we've winked and nudged at it but not said the words, or it's Kickstarter developers who I think are just hedging their bets on platform availability and going, if we say we're bringing it to Switch 2, more people will back our Kickstarter, and we'll work out the specifics when we can. Our Odyssey says, I feel like Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft might sometimes leak things on purpose for marketing. I'll say this, as someone who has in the past been involved in leaking announcements of some of these companies before they're officially made, getting a hold of info and saying it before it's officially out there, I will tell you that they are not leaking this shit deliberately as a marketing tactic. I can tell you, great place to go look if you want convincing that Nintendo aren't doing it deliberately is the Kit and Krista podcast. They're two people who used to be Nintendo of America employees. They used to host a official Nintendo of America YouTube show called Nintendo Minute. Now they run just their own unaffiliated thing. They talk a lot about, like, what goes on inside Nintendo when stuff leaks and, like, Nintendo's absolute not being a fan of it. PlayStation, I can say, look, I am on relatively good terms with PlayStation people. They send me a review code for all their games without me having to ask. They're lovely. They sent me a PS5 for review. I can tell you, as someone who leaked some PlayStation announcements like a decade ago, they still remember that I did that. They ain't leaking stuff deliberately for their own promotion. For anyone who doesn't know those stories, I got my hands on a PS4 Slim 2 weeks before it was announced. Like, it hadn't been announced that it existed, but I had one in my home, and unboxed it and did a review. Talked about the fact that it didn't have, it was dropping the optical audio output, things like that. And around that same time, I leaked the existence of Rush of Dawn, Until Dawn Rush of Blood, a VR game in the Until Dawn universe, which the developers of said that I was lying and that the game wasn't real, and then a week later they announced the game, and I was like, yeah, okay, I get it. But yeah, I've had enough conversations with enough people at those companies to go, they are not leaking stuff themselves for marketing. They are run by people who are very detail-oriented in their plans for how they want to market things, and not being in control of that terrifies them. I mean, the Nintendo leak situation is honestly kind of fascinating. Like, it seems very, like, we don't know officially, but, like, we all but know how a lot of Nintendo leaking over the last, like, 3 years was happening, and it's really interesting. The reason we know, so I'll sort of get to how we know this before what the method is, but, for a few years, there were people online like Pyro who were 100% accurately leaking every bit of information in every Nintendo Direct a few days before they aired. Now, we don't officially know that this is how Pyro was getting their information at the time, but separately, there was a story about how YouTube employees were taking advantage of their admin credentials to watch unlisted videos or private videos from accounts before they were made public. And it's highly suspected that one of these was Nintendo Directs being uploaded as private videos before they were hit publish, and not saying necessarily Pyro, but people at YouTube perhaps watching Nintendo Directs before they aired, and that being how those were leaking. And when that story happened and there was a big clampdown at YouTube about, like, who was accessing whose private videos using admin accounts and making that more trackable and harder to do on the sly, suddenly Pyro stopped leaking directs really accurately, and it seems like maybe that's how that was happening. Yes, Terra, Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle, that was one of the ones I was on back in the day, I had a bunch of stuff on that. People told me I was mad. I gotta check where I'm going here. Where was it that I had another narrative bit to go to still? But yes, in the case of Nintendo, it seems like that is probably the big way that Nintendo stuff was leaking for the longest time.
On we go.
There's other things like, for a while, all of Pokemon's announcements were leaking in advance, and it seems like what was probably happening there is someone working in, the Riddler was probably working in localization, for Pokemon games, and that's where he was getting his info. It's fascinating, like, just from a academic standpoint, learning about where the weak points were that led to, like, some of the more consistently leaking information companies.
A huge flock of seagulls flew right at me earlier. Scared the bejesus out of me. We just steered into their flight path, but I felt like I was about to get eaten.
They've had enough of the chef eating them. Now it's time to eat him. The gull's vengeance is upon you. It was nice knowing you.
Besides, seagulls aren't the most flavorful. Not on their own, at least. It's tough work making them taste good. Way more effort than it's worth, honestly.
That's some quitter shit, man. No wonder those feathered freaks are messing with you. You gotta show those beaky bastards who's boss. Dunk them in oil, crisp them up.
And you think that'll send them a message? They're just birds, right?
Buddy, that's for you to figure out. Now rev up those deep fryers on the double.
Captain,
mean-
this is just about you wanting fried chicken, isn't it?
Maybe.
Sailing's a good time.
Well, I think Masaru's ready for a drink link as well.
Say, Captain.
Yeah, let's go do drink links. Maybe my favorite of recent times in terms of like, it's almost unbelievable that this is how it leaked, was the GTA 6 initial reveal trailer got leaked online, seemingly because a Rockstar employee, quite a high up Rockstar employee with access to the trailer, had the trailer on his home computer for whatever reason, and his kid just filmed the trailer on his, like, held the phone pointed at the computer, filmed the trailer and put it up online, seemingly as a, oh hey, look how cool I am, my dad works at Rockstar kind of move. And that seemingly that might be how the GTA 6 trailer leaked early, was
Let's make sure we keep
someone's kid decided, like, oh shit, my dad's got the GTA trailer, I'll just send it to some friends or whatever. Alright, water's near Hawaii. Let's go do drink links. The only case where, in the world where my family member works at company was real, right? I'm sure he's no longer a Rockstar. Entirely possible. Depends how high up he was as to whether his job was going to be cushionable. But I don't think many people were, you know, had that trailer on their home computers, you know. Oh, why did I come back to Hawaii? I've got to do the drink links at the boat. I had this thought earlier, and then I just, like, forgot that I needed to act on it, which I go get drunk with them on the boat out at sea. Oh yeah, that kid got fired. Yeah, one day when we're like far enough divorced from it, I will tell the story of how I got my hands on that PS4 Slim, like 2 weeks before announcement. That
Good to see you, Captain. Good to see you.
it's a unique story. There's like a whole little saga to it that one day I hope to be able to share with people, because it's I have documentation. I have photos and videos of the journey that getting that console took that one day I will share with the world. When the people involved are at an arm's distance safely.
First chance we've had to drink one-on-one, huh? You know, you're a damn funny guy.
Hmm? What you mean?
Just, you wash up on the beach, no memory, no money, and now look at you, captain of your own ship. Who would have thunk it, right?
World moves in mysterious ways, I guess. Tell you something I find funny. Coming here and finding pirate ships all over the place.
Like they say, if you know, you know.
21st century, you're still blasting cannons at each other.
Huh? What are you talking about, 21st century?
Huh?
Oh, right. Now I get it. This could explain why you're always talking so strangely. Captain, you really think you're in the 21st century?
The hell? What are you... You trying to tell me I ain't? Hold on. That must mean...
We're in the 22nd century!
So it's the 22nd century? The damn future. Hell, could be later than that even.
Seem pretty sure of yourself, huh?
You got smartphones and shit, so obviously technology's at least modern day. But then, I got no idea how these ships work. They look old, but they maneuver like crazy. Never understand how the hell you move and turn so fast on something with sails.
Right, Majima?
True. Some of these Atlantis boats leave me dumbfounded. Their performance is almost unreal. I'm only joking, though. It's still the 21st century.
Don't
Just
play
wanna
jokes
have
on
some
someone
fun.
with memory loss.
Oh, yeah? You don't say. That's a relief. Ain't like I'm some lost son of a bitch with amnesia, eh? Thanks for the reality check.
Thanks for the ableism, Jason.
I try to have a little goof, and you play me for the sucker?
One of us has got to have their head on right. For Noah's sake, yeah?
Nah, well... Maybe I was being pretty stupid, till you showed up. Locking myself away on that tiny island. Noah stuck there with me. Now that I'm back on board a ship, I finally remember how liberating it is to sail the open seas.
Rich Island wasn't doing you no good going by how you downed that drink.
No, it wasn't. And Noah's looking even happier than I am. It's like you tried telling me before. The kid was long past due for some adventure in his life. With every new experience, I see him growing up a little bit.
Know what you mean? It's a nice feeling. Watching a kid stiffen up his spine and stand a little taller.
How sweet this is from a character who
That
almost
said,
slapped his son around the face
I'm
at the start of the
still
game.
not sure you're the best influence on him.
Ain't gotta worry so much. He'll be his own man soon.
I kept Noah on the island for a reason, you know? I'm worried about him, about his health. Whatever else may be the case, I won't let you let me forget that.
Easy now. You drunk? I've been getting the sense you ain't the type to stop at just one, are you?
Yeah, you ain't wrong. Tell myself not to overdo it, then I end up drinking like a fish. Noah deserves better than to end up like me.
I'll teach Noah how to drink.
Noah can learn to drink from me. I'll teach the kid the proper way to do it.
He's a little young for that.
Ah!
Now, later.
Oddswallop.
Till then.
He's
your
on a
job's
pirate
showing
ship.
him what
He can
you
have some grog, some ale.
Demonstrate all the negatives of drinking. He'll catch on to which habits he should avoid.
God damn, you sure know how to sober a guy up, Captain. I hear ya. I'm really gonna try to stop overdoing it in front of him.
Stick to drinking with me. We'll have fun.
Captain, I'm starting to realize you're wiser than you look.
Oh, God.
Took you this
the
long to
captain.
notice?
Ah.
Suppose my charm is something of an acquired taste.
Sorry for not seeing it sooner. My boy, he knew right away that you were something special.
Aw.
Before any of us. The kid had sense enough to put his faith in you. You said you'd show him the world. I'll be damned if you ain't kept your word.
What kind of man would I be if I didn't? It's a promise.
That
worth
is our
dying
mad
for.
dog.
That's what adults are supposed to do. After all.
Look at him. He'd make a good dad
Truer
at
words have never
60.
been spoken, if you asked me. And I'm gonna do everything I can to carry that with me from now on.
Damn right. I believe in you.
This was a good drink, Captain.
Yeah, it was, huh? Let's do it again sometime.
Get sometime, yeah. Right, and where's our other drink link? Oh, he's behind the desk in the kitchen. Let's have more feelings with the crew. Yar har.
Still blows my mind, Captain. I've been on plenty of boats in my time. But this here's the first one with a Yakuza at the helm.
Can't say that's a surprise. So, you've had yourself all kinds of high seas adventures, huh?
Well, mostly just around Hawaii. Ventured out a little further back when I was a treasure hunter.
Oh, don't that sound nice?
Hey, it behooves a cook to see what the world's got to offer his palate, don't you think? But food isn't the only thing that gets me going. Wanna guess what else?
Give me a break. You ain't exactly what I'd call a tough read. You, my friend, got a weakness for women.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. What do you take me for, man? That's not it at all. I was going to say I like learning about what life is like in different countries around the world.
Oh, yeah? Well, maybe my smeller's off. My bad for figuring you wrong there.
Give me a little credit, Captain. I've seen some great stuff, though. Different customs from different parts of the globe. One thing really made a lasting impression, though. Still think about it to this day. I'm talking about the nude beaches they have over in Europe.
You say nude beaches?
You know what those are, right? Or...
Do they not have
Maybe
those in
not.
other parts of the
What are you
world?
jabbering about? Of course I do.
Outside of
Nude
Europe?
beaches are, obviously...
Beaches where the dunes look like tits. No. You can hang out naked.
Beaches where everybody's butt naked, ain't it? Men and women swimming around with their danglers out?
I know that he's probably with women referring to their breasts, but I do like to think that this is a moment of extremely woke Majima when he says men and women walking around with their danglers out. He's talking about dicks in both cases. They're both men and women walking around with danglers out.
You lost all your memories, but that bit stayed, huh?
I choose to believe extremely woke Majima.
Except for my name and shit.
Man, going to those things was a real shock, you know? Up till then, the only breasts I'd seen were my mom's. Suddenly, there were babes everywhere, swimming in the buff like it was no big deal.
Get your story straight, will ya?
Doesn't have
Thought
to
you
be a
said
big
minute ago
deal.
You weren't a skirt-chasing hound dog.
Hey, there were just as many old guys there as pretty women. They were just as naked, too.
Well, it's true what they say anyhow. The more you travel, the more interesting places you find. Sounds to me like you found your share, Masaru.
Naturally, I'd like to visit Japan sometime, too. They have those, hostess clubs there, right? Where a whole bunch of girls come drink with you for a cool 100 or so?
Maybe the cheap ones will run you that much. But
Oh.
yeah, sure, we got those.
Yeah,
There's
you
also girls
silly
bars,
little horny
cosplay
man.
bars. Let's see, what was that other thing?
So you do want to lift every skirt in town?
Sugar daddy dating, that's it. Man, Japan is the best. Living there would be a dream come true.
Pretty in the know for a guy who's never been. But take it from me, Japan's got other cool shit going for it too. Like, for instance... comedy.
It's good comedy.
Japanese funny men will knock you flat on your ass laughing. Ever heard of Manzai?
Ah, what's that?
It's a two-man comedy act. You got a bouquet, that's a dumbass, and a tsukomi, that's a tight ass. They talk a blue streak and smack each other around till the crowd's rolling in the aisles.
Well, all right. Maybe me and my sugar baby will go see it sometime.
Something tells me that didn't move the needle for you.
Damn, that sounds amazing. Now there's no excuse. I've gotta go.
Yeah, I reckon it's worth heading that way, at least the once.
So what else they got there?
What else? Nights brighter than days, drunks stumbling through them, tattered up Yakuza every which way you look. Get yourself out of the city, you got temples, shrines, quiet places. Once a year, the whole joint's covered in little cherry petals. Real pretty. Then you got your Chinese food, Japanese food, Italian. Enough tasty spots to keep you fat and happy for life. Guess if I had to sum it up, Japan's the kind of place where if you want it, it's waiting for you to come and get it.
Damn, listen to you. You got some real pride in your country, huh, Captain?
Yeah, suppose so. Feeling some memories come loose the more I jaw about it.
Then it's settled. Let's you and me go to Japan together someday. Who knows? Showing me around might even rehab your memory a bit.
Can do. I owe you a hell of a lot. That's really all you're asking? I'm making out like a bandit here.
Well said as always, Captain.
And keep up the good work, eh, Masaru? I'll be counting on you out there.
I won't let you down.
Ah, there we go. We've strengthened our friendships. And I've micromanaged my too many messages coming in during the stream. Right, where are we at on working our way through the pirate crews, the devil pirates? Have we done all the areas, or was there still one area left before plot area? Select destination. Okay, looks like it is time for us to actually progress this plot. So let's go to Flame Heaven. So the gist of this plot, for anyone who wasn't around before, was Jason, the dad of Noah, the kid on the pirate ship, went to go see his friend who got him into being a pirate. His friend had been murdered to steal a precious, beautiful gem. His daughter was like, fuck it, I got a gun, I'm gonna go take those pirates out. And we were like, chill the fuck out for a second. Come with us, we'll go do it, as like a group. So we're like chasing down all the various pirate leaders to try and get this gemstone back, because it was the dad and the mum's engagement gift. But he's like, maybe it's a little bit cursed, he's a bit obsessed with it. Also, Captain Shinobi, one of the pirate leaders, shot Captain Yakuza. Captain Yakuza failed to stop us, and then Captain Shinobi just shot him in the head. So that's a factor, is one of these pirates shot the other. No explanation why he did it. And now we're going to Flame Heaven. There's volcanoes. The Second Fleet's famed for having impenetrable defenses and absolutely brutal cannon fire. Up against a battalion. I'm still really glad we went on this journey. Where do you want to go on your adventures, Noah? Lots of places. I want to go to Japan to see where the captain's from, and I want to go to an amusement park. That's what they're called, right? Yeah, good choices. How about you, Miss Misaki? Is there anywhere you really want to go? Me? I'm not sure. Nothing comes to mind immediately. Maybe Japan, like you said. Oh, really? Yeah, my parents were both born there. It'd be nice to visit someday. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I bring up bad memories? No, it's fine. Don't worry. You're a kid. You're too young to worry about stuff like putting your foot in your mouth. You're pretty too young too, Misaki. Aren't you also a kid? Hardly. I'm almost twice your age, Noah. I'm sure I seem like an old lady to you, don't I? Oh, no way, you're not an old lady at all. You're young and you're really pretty. Oh, why thank you. Giving a girl a compliment's a good skill to have. You're going to be very popular when you're older. I am? I don't know, romantic stuff is still confusing to me. Oh, there weren't many girls my age on the island. Since we both said we want to go to Japan someday, maybe we could go together? Be better than going alone, wouldn't it? I mean, if that's okay with you. No, we're of course, we'll do it. I promise. The framing of this feels weird. Anyway, we'll go on a casual, platonic trip to Japan as adults, years from now. Also, don't forget, she got a gun. When we were previously interrogating a pirate, she was the first one to be like, no, I'm getting the gun out. I'm shooting at him until he tells us stuff. Captain Ronin, the Goro pirates have entered Flame Heaven. At last, it seems I'm unable to make contact with Captain Yakuza. Do you suppose they killed him? If so, what will you do? Massacre them! That man was a friend and comrade to me for years. I'll not let his death go unavenged. Okay, so Captain Shinobi killed Captain Yakuza, but he's pretending he didn't do it. He's letting everyone think we killed Captain Yakuza. And being like, oh, it's terrible that they killed Captain Yakuza. You better go take vengeance on them. Okay, so now we're gonna go fight Captain Ronin. Oh, I never expected the Goro pirates to be so ruthless. It was you, wasn't it? Why? Been sure that Ronin would annihilate them. He's a simple man, no better tinder to ignite his rage than the death of a comrade. So, is Captain Yakuza proved unable to defeat the Goro pirates? You sacrificed him like a pawn in order to advance a stronger piece. Now, wickedly calculating, my friend. Even a fool has his use. You taught me that, Captain. Yeah, nevertheless, their leader's proven capable. We'd be wise to crush him soon. Don't let him get stronger or whatever. Okay, yeah. Calls. We gotta go defeat Captain Shinobi. Well, who else is messaging me now?
Better off following the currents.
Okay. Right, so where are we heading first? Here.
Steady as she goes.
Heath Demon says, I'm certainly not upset with Yakuza, with the Yakuza game, kinda semi-embracing the supernatural or the occult. There's been a few times where they've implied that magic is real.
Good times.
And we kinda just don't question it. Magic may or may not be real in the Yakuza world. Don't overthink it too much. Gummabuster says, I like the side quests where they hunt down UFOs or ghosts, so we have to be regular guys either scamming people or hunting the phenomenon themselves, and we're mistaken for the real thing. Yeah, but the way those quests always end, oh yeah, and then Gumba says, and then when it concludes, a real ghost peeks around the corner and giggles. Yeah, Infinite Wealth had one. There was like this huge side quest about like a UFO abducting cows, and it turned out to be that scientist who was making his giant Roomba. Oh, it was the giant Roomba flying around and it accidentally sucked up the cows. And then a UFO shows up and abducts a cow after we've solved the mystery, and it was just the Roomba. Well, there was that one about the guy who wanted to be like a YouTube, like a ghost hauntings YouTuber, and we were supposed to be like faking a haunting in his apartment. I think it was in The Man Who Erased His Name, and then it turned out that it was a ghost. It is pretty wonderful, the thread of logic you occasionally must follow.
I smell treasure.
In Yakuza 6, there was a girl who leaked through time into the past to prevent her dad from being beaten up by robbers. Hell yeah, there was. This series of video games is really cool. I am a big fan.
Shit! Did that rock just explode? It's close. Better not set that off.
it says something that, like, year after year, every at this point annual Yakuza release ends up being somewhere on my Game of the Year list of, like, yeah, this was one of my favorite things I played in the year. Sure, it's not the most, like, technically ambitious or, like, original in terms of mechanics or, like, it's not changing the world in any way. But consistently every year, there's another one of these games, and I'm like, big or small, that was great. That was worth my time. It was wonderful. Oh, 100%. The fact that they take a silly premise and play it sincerely is 100% why it works. And as someone who wrote an entire book of video game character butt reviews, I'm a big fan of taking a silly thing very seriously and sincerely. Yar.
We did it!
Too many emails. Go away, emails.
What in the mess up you sending?
Alright, how many stops do we have on this route? Okay, yeah, it's a reasonably short one. Yeah, we got this.
Feel that sea breeze.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and go for my usual length stream today, but I'm suddenly feeling weirdly tired. I don't know quite what's up, but I'm suddenly feeling very warm and tired. Out of nowhere. Maybe I just need to take the hoodie off. Maybe we've gotten to the point in the year. Maybe we've reached the point in the year where I can actually stop wearing a hoodie. Is that it? Am I just too warm? As opposed to being necessarily sleepy. That might be it. It might just be that I'm overly warm. I might turn my fan on. Gosh, I don't know the last time I turned on my fan while streaming. That has been a while.
Set sail for riches!
Oh yeah, that feels better already. I'm warm enough to not want a jumper or a hoodie. That's, spring! Spring is on its way, finally. We're not in the depths of winter.
We did it!
Yeah, squad. I need to properly equip better rings. I need to change up my ring loadout at some point soon. Okay, so now we need to be to this lighthouse. well. I got to introduce Steph today to the wonder that is Yu-Gi-Oh! Colloquially known as Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 0. Which I was reminded not everyone is aware of the nonsense that this is. Many of you, I'm sure, will be aware of Yu-Gi-Oh! The anime and about a trading card game. There's an ancient pharaoh. He plays a trading card game. That's sort of the premise. That wasn't always the premise. If you watch like the first season of the English dubbed anime, it kind of seems like they're making up the rules to the card game a little bit as they go along. And there's a reason for that. The reason for that is they were kind of making the rules as they went along. Yeah, some of you will be aware of Season 0 already. The thing about it is that Yu-Gi-Oh! Didn't start off as a manga and anime about the card game Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Duel Monsters. It started as a story about the king of games, not Yu-Gi-Oh! The Duel Monsters, the card game. He was the king of all sorts of games plural. And Season 0 of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is essentially, what if an ancient pharaoh trapped people into morally, what's the word I'm looking for? Morally ironic saw traps to test their greed? There was different games every episode, but, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 0 episodes boil down to things like, oh, you wanted to steal some money? Let's play a game. You put the stack of stolen money on your hand, and you stab through the bills that are on your hand with a knife, and the more of them you stab through, the more of them I'll let you keep. But if you stab too far, you'll stab into your own hand via your own greed, because you're not going to be able to resist stabbing further in to try and get more notes, and you'll stab yourself, and then I send you to literal hell as punishment. Or, okay, you've taken someone hostage. Well, let's try and kill each other with one finger each. Okay, well, I choose my trigger finger. I point a gun at you. Well, I choose, my thumb to set off a lighter, and I balance it on top of your gun hand. And now all that vodka in front of you, if you pull the trigger, the lighter's gonna fall and you're gonna set yourself on fire because of the vodka. Haha, shadow game. Like, it's a children's horror. It's a mild Saw analog, but with supernatural stakes. And the Duel Monsters was only meant to be, like, one of the games that got played. Like, just as equally, in the early episodes, there's an episode about, like, battle Tamagotchis. That was, like, a theme of an episode, and one was, like, the Duel Monsters episode where they play a card game. And it just so happens the card game got really popular. So, like, the card game episodes or chapters of the manga, readers and viewers kept going, give us more of the Duel Monsters stuff. So it became slowly more and more a part of the show and the manga, until eventually what we get as Season 1 in English-speaking territories is, okay, we've decided this is a show about the card game now. But Yu-Gi-Oh! Could just as easily have been become a show about battle Tamagotchis. Because it was a show about, like, whatever the game of the week is, usually involving some sort of criminal being forced to play a game to test their moral failings. So I got to introduce Steph to some key screen grabs of the essentially saw traps from Season 0 Yu-Gi-Oh! Today.
Looks like we got
Oh, Dandelion, thank you very much for the 45 months of sub. It is Purple Penguin subscription time indeed. Yeah, Season 0 is quite a journey. Oh, there's poison on this island. Go. Gotta go fast. Gotta murder efficiently. Gotta murder speedy. Must move quickly like Sonic. Gotta hedgehog efficiently. up you get, up you get. What to advance with velocity? Okay. Yes, Andy H, there is indeed a new gaming union being formed with the Communication Workers Union in the US and Canada. Didn't know it was in Canada as well. I'd seen it was in the US. Hell yes. More unions that are not specific to a single company, so that more of the industry has the option of unionizing.
I bet that guy's got something new.
God, my one Blue Sky post is still doing numbers. How is that doing? Okay, over 1,000 likes, 300 reshares. It's people be sharing it. Oh, I've lost like half my health already. I need to be going way faster than this. I can't use my healing items in this one. Okay. Oh, gotta stop for the gold though. Gotta stop for the gold. I know it's really unnecessary, but I've got the health to brute force through this, right? I reckon so. I'm gonna use the sharks to speed through this bit of the encounter. Okay, I need to find the healing barrel real quick. Oh, there it is, okay. Oh, thank God, okay. Okay, that was fine. We did okay. Okay, there's the health. For a second, I thought it wasn't healing me. Okay. Tara says, I know it's being shared because my comment on it's getting over 20 likes, I almost never get into double digits. Yeah, when people commenting on it are noticing more engagement than they usually get, it's like, yeah. It's nice when an accessibility thing gets those kind of shares. There's a lot of accessibility stuff that people don't share because they're like, oh, it's not for me, I don't need it. And occasionally one will do numbers like this, and I'm like, hooray! The general audience is giving a shit about this accessibility thing. That's good to see. That's good for the industry. There we go, got it.
We did it!
Yeah, we did.
What in the hell messed up your shoulder?
GG, right, so we've got... Okay, yeah, so we've got the lighthouse here, and then we pop up to the top. Okay, yeah, we're nearly done. We nearly cleared out another section of this today. But yes, I was saying about getting to introduce Steph to Season 0 of Yu-Gi-Oh! Today. That sort of came about as a result of... I've finally gotten around to starting to play Yu-Gi-Oh! The Early Days collection on Switch, which is a collection of all the old Game Boy Color through Game Boy Advance Yu-Gi-Oh! Games. And the reason that Season 0 of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is kind of relevant to that is a lot of these Yu-Gi-Oh games in the early days collection are from early enough that they're from that period where they were still working out the rules of Yu-Gi-Oh and what exactly how Yu-Gi-Oh played. So a lot of these Yu-Gi-Oh games don't quite follow the rules of Yu-Gi-Oh properly. Much like some of the early content from the anime, which has made it a fascinating time capsule to play through a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh games that didn't really yet know how Yu-Gi-Oh was going to be played. Okay, we were on fire, but we got that. Only a little on fire, it was fine.
Oh, a lighthouse. Let's rest there.
The crew members in poor condition? Perish the thoughts.
I'm getting used to this.
We're gonna go look after them, find out who's unwell. Who needs
Reminds me
looking
of old
after?
times.
Ah, not,
How nice of
you. What? Oh, you're the guy from the vocational school. Vocational school guy with a gun. I got too big of a crew now. I'm having to remind myself. I'm like, who are you? Remind me who you are.
All right.
Private.
Good old-fashioned stress punch. Feel that sea breeze.
These are some good waves. Hope we
Yeah,
don't
I
run
definitely
into
think it's going to be a
Coast Guard.
slightly early finish tonight. I don't know what it is. I'm feeling a little overheated, a little dizzy and tired. I don't know whether it's that I'm just a little oversleepy, or if it is I wore myself out with busy work day and then getting overexcited about new accessibility feature in a way where I was excitedly hyperfixating in a way that was tiring me out. It's probably part of it. I used up all the dopamine being excited about a thing.
This thing's ready for a big one.
U-turn, U-turn, U-turn.
This thing's ready for a big one.
Gotta remember the side slam is equally powerful for dealing damage while maneuvering.
Feel that sea breeze. Hard to port.
I've got a deadline for finishing the streams of Pirate Yakuza coming up as well. Because early next month we've got a South of Midnight coming out, which is definitely on my I want to play that through on stream list. You see, that is definitely getting closer to release as I started seeing the announcements for like, hey, content creators and reviewers that want to apply for review code, like here's where you do so. We're starting to get the call outs for, are you interested in covering this game for work, people? Please let us know. Means we are approaching release on that game real quick. I think is what, the 8th of next month? That's Midnight's out, I think.
Whoops, my bad.
Ooh, the frame rate did not like whatever was happening here for a second. Come on, game. Catch up with yourself. Oh god, Expedition 33 is coming. Ugh, too many games. Sort yourself out, frame rate. If I kill this enemy, will it sort the frame rate out?
We did it!
Maybe we're alright now.
Holy shit, not too shabby.
Okay, then we just gotta head up and we'll be there. I see it, I see the big ship. Oh, I need to get out of the, I need to escape the slipstream.
Dodge, Captain, dodge!
I'm out. There we go. I wanna go just straight for the enemy ship. Yeah, what do we got coming imminently? What do we imminently got releasing? South of Midnight, Clair Obscure. Ooh, Creepy Red
Let's
Knight
head
Neck
back,
Dinosaur
Captain.
Mansion 3. Oh, Doom the Dark Ages is May. Elden Ring Night Rain and Tua T. Oh, all three of those back to back. Doom the Dark Ages, Tua T, and Elden Ring Night Rain all in May. Oh, May's gonna be a good month. Yes, new Assassin's Creed is out tomorrow, and that is a game I wasn't going to pay any attention to until I found out it had tone tags as a subtitle option. And now that is shot to the top of my list of things I need to check out for work. I'm Samurai, first mate in the second fleet. You've not got the right to face Captain Ronin, I'll cut you down myself. Yeah, okay. Oh, you don't have the right to talk to us after our Captain Yakuza departed. What do you mean departed? Oh, don't try and deceive me. Die, you despicable Goro pirates. Gumba Master says, I've been playing Nubby's Number Factory and listening to the Game Bro 1990s original makes it strangely fitting. How many hours have I put into Nubby's Number Factory so far? Let me look it up. It's going to be too many, is the answer. Nearly 30 hours. Plus... Yeah, okay, yeah, nearly 30 hours. I put nearly 30 hours into Nubby's Number Factory, of all things. I'm slowing down now, but I did have a real burst of this is all that I want to spend my free time on with Nubby's Number Factory. The real energy time vampire. It's a real time vampire.
We can do this, Captain!
Okay, here we go. There we go. And we board. Ah, cleared it. Simple as anything.
Gonna earn my keep.
Let's save the big attack for the all-out war that's coming up. I was 18 when Windows 95 came out. Because Windows 95 presumably came out in 1995. I remember using 95 when I grew up, but I was not old enough to remember what year it was. And I've always just assumed 95 came out in 95 and 98 came out in 98. I assumed that was the naming convention that was occurring. I was 4 when Windows 95 came out. 1.3k reviews, overwhelmingly positive on Steam. Surprise for Numby. I'm glad Numby's getting positive reviews. It's slowly getting its little word of mouth. Nubby's Number Factory is having its slow burn of like, ooh, maybe this is a thing we pay attention to. Justice must be done.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna go to Flame Island, finish this quest off. Here we go. Well, sure we go. Kvelstrom says, I'm glad to be among fellow olds in this chat. You're only as old as, I don't know how to finish that sentence. You're only as old as you allow yourself to behave. Let's go with that. Okay, this is Flame Island. It's big volcano. Let's go kick some ass.
I smell treasure.
A person in Comrade's chat is in their mid-20s. It feels weird. God, how old was I when I started doing this? It would have been a little over 10 years ago. God, I was 22 when I started doing all of this. I was 22 when people started paying attention to the things I was saying, as if I was 22 when people started treating me as an authority that knew what I was talking about when I had opinions. I was 22, I had no fucking opinions. What the fuck did I know what to say? Tee-hee. By comparison, so baby. It's still the best reference point I have for like what me at the start of doing this as a full-time job was like is a few months after Pogquisition began was when I got pulled up on stage to play tambourine with Jared Way. And as such, that video was a really good time capsule of how much of an absolute little baby trans I was at the time. How barely out of the closet I was as a human being. It's kind of adorable.
It
Oh, Gumba, I'm glad that you thought, why does this charming young lady have so many good and correct opinions about video games, as opposed to, what's this foolish young person trying to tell me or what to think? Damn ass young people. The youth shakes hand, shakes fist at sky. You know, could have gone worse for me. Yeah, because Pokemon was started in what, 2014. Late 2014. I'm guessing it was early 2015 for a Jared Way concert, I'm gonna guess. Let's work it out. Yeah, January. God, that Jared Way concert was 3 months into Podquisition. Terra says, I thought Laura was cool, and I secretly wished I could be a girl as cool as Laura. It took me 9 years to realize I was... It still took me 9 years to realize I was trans. I'm glad you got there. Well done. Hell yeah. Join the cool girl squad. Give me a second to pull this up now. Wrong clip. There's a different clip of it. Let me pull this video up one second. At least once I can get this ad to go away. Alright. This was 3 months into Podquisition. Yeah, October, this is late January, and October the previous year Podquisition started. This is like 3 months into Podquisition in Brixton in London.
I want you to play the tambourine. Yes.
I still don't... It's still... If I didn't have video evidence of it, I would not believe that this had happened.
Like a professional. Look at that. Like a professional. What's your name?
I was absolutely... couldn't quite process what was happening up here. I look at my outfit, I'm like, God, I did not know how to dress myself reasonably like an adult. The early stages of being trans and not having any fucking clue how to dress myself. Yeah, that was by far the biggest, like, room of people who had seen me out at that point was... Here is the room of people watching me play tambourine with lead singer of my favorite band. Oh, how time has flown. Right, let's go. Let's go kick the ass of these last ones. Was that a reference to Reggie stealing your 3DS? I've just realized what you meant. It was Gerard on stage going, it's fucking Reggie! Where's Zeus at? Oh, I'm not privy. The Heat doesn't agree with him, so he's probably already left. He'll be at Frosthaven by now. Okay, yeah, so we've got to go to the ice place next. Why didn't you follow him to the ice place? Oh, simple, he's terrifying. I was like Zeus once. Partaking in wanton destruction, raiding and pillaging indiscriminately. And our paths crossed and I only narrowly survived. As I begged for mercy, he spared me in exchange for my servitude. Well, I've no choice but to obey his command or die at his whim. I loathe what I've become at times. This is a truly miserable world we inhabit, corrupted by villains like Zeus and myself. And all of you as well. You murdered Captain Yakuza, my dearest ally. I will have vengeance. But we didn't kill Captain Yakuza. Liar, I'll slay your entire wretched crew. Okay, yeah, you're not going to believe us, of course. Of course, we've got to kill this guy. Yeah, Captain Zeus is not quite like the others. It's all sort of warrior job roles, and then I guess he's kind of the god that sits above them. Yeah, he doesn't follow the naming scheme so much, Captain Zeus. The Captain Samurai, yes. More stuff to talk about. More accessibility things. Microsoft has released Creating Accessible Packaging and Inclusive Design Guide. Oh, Xbox's accessible packaging stuff is great. I wish they did it on more of their products other than just their accessibility products. But it's great that they're putting out guidance for other people on how to do accessible design practices for their packaging. They do really good packaging stuff. Hell yeah. I'll never submit to you. Oh. Watch out! Oh, he tried to punch a child, so she shot him in the head. I suppose, yeah, they're hunting for a crystal called the Pharaoh Stone. Yeah, that's another bit of godly mythology, I suppose. Interesting. Oh, thank you, Misaki. You saved me from a punch by doing murder. Thank you for doing murder so I didn't get punched. Okay, that's 2 officers down. This one we actually did murder. Okay, so we've got to go to the Frost place next. It's an Arctic climate. It's got glaciers and everything. Oh, hey, Captain Beef. I'm looking for treasure. No one has daring do like I... No one has daring do like I dairy do. And milk me if this isn't a remarkable piece. Your puns are terrible and I love them, Captain Beef. What have we discovered? What have we unlocked? What have we earned? Oh, it's another of the cursed instruments. It's the electric guitar of the monkey ghost. The Dark God's guitar. Let's try it out. Let's try summoning the big monkey.